Hello friends, this is Gabe Stepanic from Coda Financial Group with our February 2014 video update. In this update, we'll be talking about some of the major events that moved markets last month. We'll also be discussing what might affect us in the days and weeks ahead. Please be sure to review the required disclosure statements. After disappointing market performance in January, stocks shook off their winter gloom and roared back in February. The major averages all performed well last month. The S&P 500 added more than 4% in February and reached a new record close. In February, the S&P gained 4.3%, the Dow grew 3.2%, and the Nasdaq added 5%. Earnings season mostly wrapped up last month, and with 487 of the S&P 500's companies reporting, we can say that Q4 2013 was a modest success. Total earnings for S&P 500 companies were up 9.3% from the same period in 2012. This great news is tempered by the fact that total revenues were up less than 1%. This means that businesses are still struggling with weak global demand, but are managing to generate profits. What that tells us is that if stocks are able to generate gains under such mediocre business conditions, we can hope for more upside if demand picks up. Economic data in February was a mixed bag. The unusually cold winter weather put a serious chill on many economic sectors, such as construction, manufacturing, and the housing market. These seasonal variables make it difficult to know whether the positive economic trends that began in 2013 are continuing in 2014. The January jobs report was weak, showing uninspiring employment gains. Though progress is still being made, it's happening pretty slowly. On the other hand, winter weather may have also affected the job hunt for many Americans, meaning we can hope for better growth once the weather warms up. On a more positive note, consumer confidence ticked upward at the end of February as younger Americans registered increased optimism about the economy. This gives us hope that confidence in consumer spending may pick up after the bad winter weather ends. Overall, we're inclined to hold off on drawing any conclusions on the economy until we see more data. New Fed Chairman Janet Yellen spoke before the Senate at the end of February and reassured markets that tapering would continue unless negative economic data warranted a pause. She also confirmed that interest rates would stay low after unemployment dropped below 6.5%, which isn't a number that represents full employment. We're glad to get more guidance from the Fed and confirmation that Fed economists are carefully weighing recent weather-affected data. Stocks tapered their rally somewhat at the end of February due to fears that political unrest in Ukraine would turn into outright war with Russia. Ukraine's president was ousted last month after weeks of widespread protests. Analysts fear that an armed conflict with Russia might disrupt important natural gas and oil supplies. It's too soon to know how the whole situation will play out, but we're watching it carefully and actively developing strategies to mitigate risk for our clients. While we can't predict the future, we know that these geopolitical events rarely have more than temporary effects on global markets. Looking ahead, investors will probably see some more volatility as traders digest the news from Ukraine and look for more clarity in economic data. Hopefully, a strong February jobs report and warmer weather will show investors that there's still market upside to be had. Once again, this is Gabe Stepanic with Coda Financial Group, signing off for the month of February 2014. I hope you found this commentary interesting and informative. If you have any questions about what you heard in this update or would like to discuss your personal financial situation, please give us a call at your convenience. We'd be happy to talk to you. While we believe this information in this report is reliable, we cannot guarantee its accuracy. Opinions expressed are subject to change without notice and not intended as investment advice or a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security. Please consult your financial professional before making any financial decision.